Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this regular scheduled meeting of the Beavercreek City Council. May we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Adams.
Here.
Councilmember Bales.
Here.
Councilmember Curran.
Here.
Councilmember Dewar.
Here.
Councilmember Schwartz. Vice Mayor Garcia. Mayor Stone.
Here. At this point, I'll turn it over to Councilmember Bales for the pledge.
Okay. As we've just completed honoring our nation's independence, please stand and join me for the pledge and remain standing for a brief prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear Lord, we thank you for this nation. We thank you for the freedom that we enjoy daily. May we never take for granted the liberties we have been given. May we remain humble and conscious of the blessings we enjoy because of the sacrifices made by the many men and women in our country. We thank you for the abundance we enjoy. May we be sensitive to those around us who are in need, and may our hearts be quick to help when we have the means to do so. We pray for our leaders. May they lead us with wisdom, humility, and grace, and us as council members with the best for the city of Beavercreek as a whole. Bless our city and our nation with ongoing peace. Amen.
Amen. All right, we have an agenda before us. Any changes?
Move we approve the agenda, Your Honor.
Second.
Have a motion to approve the agenda as submitted. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have one set of minutes to approve tonight, June 26, regular session minutes. Anyone have any comment?
Move to approve the regular session minutes of the June 26, 2023 meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes for June 26th as submitted. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions, please.
Aye.
And for those that heard those loud, those a little louder than the others, the numbers still work out. So, all right. First, next up is the public hearing, the 2024 tax budget. Good evening, Ms. Hathaway.
Resolution 23-34, a resolution approving the proposed amounts for inclusion in the 2024 tax budget for submission to the Greene County Auditor.
Thank you.
Good evening. We are presenting to you the 2024 tax budget for adoption. This resolution represents the 2024 county tax budget that will be sent to the Greene County Auditor for review. Preparation of the tax budget is required by the Ohio Revised Code, and this tax budget confirms to the county that all current levies, local government funds are necessary for continued operations. The tax budget represents the start of the budget cycle process. Preparation of the budget begins with the estimated costs of maintaining current 2023 levels of service. Adjustments are then made for inflationary factors, contractual obligations, and capital requests. The county auditor provides the estimated revenue amount to be collected from property taxes. Projections provided by the auditor are required to be used in the tax budget. All other revenues are based on current and historical trends. Projected fund balances for some operating funds are below the 20% fund balance requirement. Council will be provided a balanced budget in November that reflects minimum fund balance requirements. A hearing will be held before the County Budget Commission in August. After the hearing, the Budget Commission will allocate the city's share of local government monies and will set the previously voted millage rates for 2023 payable in 2024. So in summary, this tax or needs budget represents the first step in preparing the 2024 appropriations budget. Beginning in August, departments will work on bringing expenditure requests in line with available revenue. City Council will then review proposed budgets and service levels during the November budget work sessions. After these meetings, the city manager will present a recommended budget to City Council for final review and adoption during the 2023 council meeting. Therefore, it is recommended that City Council adopt Resolution 23-34. And if anybody has any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions about that?
I had one question.
Please.
There's a chart in your packet, and the left-hand side of the chart, I believe, probably has voted millage on it, and then a few columns to the right of that. There's two columns next to one another. One is slightly smaller, and the second one is larger. I could show you if you'd like. Is one like an effective millage column?
No, this comes from the county auditor, and I do not know the answer to that question. Let's see if there, yes.
Good question, and you probably should have a header on there to explain that to you. But the first one you're talking about is the voted, or in the inside millage, the effective rate. On the column to the right is the actual affected rate for the voted millages. So again, it starts out whatever we voted it on, say it's 1 mil, and then over the years, as the reappraisals occur, that millage starts dropping in subsequent years. So that's why it's lower on the right-hand column than in the first column.
But there's two columns. You see what two columns in the middle? Sorry, Bill.
He's right here.
Yeah, so this is the voted millage, and then there's this one and this one, and see, they differ.
Yeah, I think what they're trying to do there is show you what it was previously and what it is now after the second reappraisal is what they're trying to do.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it'd be nice if they marked that up and explain that to us all. But
I figured it was effective millage, but I got confused when there were two columns and they differed, so.
yeah, and just by looking at it, the year shot, it looks like that would be the reason.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Do I have a motion? Oh, that's right.
Public input.
This is a tax budget, you're right. So, at this point, we'll open it up to public input. Is there anyone present tonight that would like to comment on the tax budget? Seeing none, now I'll give another round of questions. Anyone from council?
One other comment I'd just like to make as a follow-up to my point was, it's amazing to note the voted millage compared to our effective millage. And when you see that in the police voted millage of 11.4, and we're only effectively collecting somewhere around 6. So there's no doubt that there's need for future revenue as we go over the years. It makes a really clear point.
Anyone else? Do I have a motion?
Your Honor, I'd move to approve Resolution 23-34.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 23-24. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next is Resolution 23-35.
Resolution 23-35, a resolution by Beavercreek City Council approving the city manager's appointment of Monica Jones to the position of Assistant City Manager.
Mayor Stone and City Council, before you is Resolution 2335. This resolution would approve the city manager's appointment of a department director, in this case, the appointment of Monica Jones as the Assistant City Manager as per City Charter, Section 7.02. As you recall, earlier this year, the city manager presented an updated staffing management plan due to several key employee departures. City Council approved an updated Chapter 30 by resolution, which reflected the city manager's plan. Barring any other departures, this resolution represents the third and final change for 2023, with 2 additional management changes to come in 2024. The city manager and I met with City Council in executive session last week and provided to all council members information about the hiring process and Ms. Jones's qualifications. Staff is recommending passage of Resolution 2335, approving the city manager's appointment of Monica Jones to the position of Assistant City Manager. Based upon a successful passage of the resolution, City Manager Landrum will officially introduce Ms. Jones.
All right, thank you. All right, discussion? Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 23-35?
Move to approve 23-35, Your Honor, appointment of Assistant City Manager.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 23-35. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Landrum, it's yours.
Thank you. If I could have Monica come up. Thank you. Mayor and City Council, this has been a few months coming, but seems like a lifetime in many ways. But as you're going through a process and talking to so many people and so many different candidates as we did. But I'm here tonight to speak specifically about Monica. So Monica will be joining the City of Beavercreek after having served as Acting Director of Procurement, Management, and Budget for the City of Dayton since March of 2022. She was a division manager in the same department since December of 2020. Monica also served as the assistant to the city manager for 5 years with the City of Dayton. Monica's entire career has been spent in local government, mostly 11 years with Dayton, and before that she started as an ICMA Local Government Management Fellow with Smyrna.
Yep.
Got it. Actually, Google helped me. Georgia, before being hired full-time in their finance department. Through the accelerated degree program, she earned both a Master's of Public Affairs degree and a Bachelor of Science in Public Affairs from Indiana University Bloomington campus. Her accomplishments include leading the department responsible for appropriating nearly $925 million across all funds for the City of Dayton. She also helped lead the planning and facilitation efforts that culminated in the adoption of the Dayton Recovery Plan, which is the roadmap for how Dayton will spend $138 million in the ARPA dollars that they received. Monica has also experience in intergovernmental relations activities, including legislative and policy issues at the federal, state, and local levels. She has successfully completed the ICMA Mid-Career Management Institute and the University of Dayton Center for Leadership's year-long Emerging Leaders program. She lives with her husband, Jason, and their 2 lovely daughters, which she can introduce all of them, but Jones and Madison. They're very precious and cute, I tell you. And their 12-year-old dog, Sadie. You didn't bring Sadie, though. Okay, well, we'll meet Sadie at some point in time. She enjoys being outside and living an active lifestyle, checking out the playgrounds, parks, and in the Dayton region area. Outdoor concerts and attempting to grow enough vegetables in her backyard garden for some salsa. Uh-oh, Mayor Stone.
Ooh.
Might be some competition.
There you go. Her family enjoys travel and new adventures and make frequent visits to family in her hometown near Kansas City. Her travels, she likes to travel, and she's joining the right department with others in the same department with that love the same thing, so I'm sure they're going to be traveling all over the place. So let me officially congratulate Monica and have her say a few words and introduce her family. Please welcome with me, though, the City of Beavercreek's Assistant City Manager, Monica Jones. It's yours.
Thank you. I don't have a whole lot to say. I can answer questions, of course, but first, Mayor, Council, thank you for the opportunity. Super excited to be continuing my career in public service, which I have a true passion for. But especially the honor and the opportunity to serve as part of the leadership team for the City of Beavercreek. Really excited. looking forward to my start date in August and to really get down to work. Just from my interactions through the interview process, it's clear that this is a really talented group of staff, of team, and so I'm excited to learn from them, learn with them, work alongside them, and really get down to business with the team in August.
All right.
Very
The
good.
one's trying to be quiet and somewhat paying attention. Joan, can you wave? The shy one's the one starting kindergarten this fall. And then Madison, are you waving?
Sure, there we go.
She's usually a little less shy than she is tonight. And then my husband, Jason, also.
All right.
Started to be excited to be joining the team. So thank you again for the opportunity and for supporting the recommendation.
And Monica will be joining us for a few hours on the council management strategy session. So she thought that that would be a good start to hearing all the departments and what's going on with the city at that time. So we look forward to seeing her a little bit in July, but the start date's August 24th?
Yep.
August 24th.
Well, Monica, welcome. Glad to have you, and nice to meet you too. So,
You as well. Thank you again.
all right. Anything?
I bring a blanket in July.
Noted. Thank you. Thank you.
It gets cold now. Some are hot, some are cold. You can't please everybody.
Temperature, not sleeping.
I'm in shorts.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, next on the agenda is Resolution 23-36.
You have not voted.
Oh, huh? We voted on the resolution.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm one behind.
Yep.
Okay, now that I've caught up, Resolution 2336, a resolution authorizing the submittal of an application for funding through the Ohio Public Works Commission, state capital improvement and/or local transportation improvement programs, and to execute contracts as required.
Thank you. Good evening.
Evening, Mayor, members of City Council. Back in 2020, the city was fortunate enough to receive a federal grant to help with the improvement of Dayton Xenia Road, the portion between Meadowbridge Drive and Darlington. The project itself consists of widening the road. We're going to extend the 5-lane pavement section from Meadowbridge to Haynes, and then it'll be 4 to 3 lanes from Haynes to Darlington. And of course, we're adding curb, storm sewer improvements, and sidewalks on both sides of the road with that project. The total estimated cost right now is at $3.3 million. And that federal grant that I mentioned is approximately $1.7 million towards that 3.3. So as staff is recommending, we submit another application for Ohio Public Works Commission funding for an additional $891,000 to further reduce the city's cost for this improvement. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Just curious, so you can apply for 2 grants for
Right.
the same project?
You can use the, it's state money, so you can use state money to match federal money, but you can't use federal money to match federal
All
money.
right, all right. Very good. Anybody?
Is there, and do you want to notify the public, if you want to mention that there'll be a
Yeah, absolutely.
open house to review the project?
Yes, absolutely. As part of the process with the current improvement, we have a public involvement meeting scheduled for July the 18th from 4:30 to 6:30. It'll be in the city council chambers.
Okay, thank you.
As a follow-up to that, can you explain how that input is going to impact any of the funding? Or we're applying for funding, but we're not getting the public input until later. Can you explain how that would work?
The input is for the federal portion. When you use the federal money, there's several rules that you have to follow in order to actually spend the money. And one of those is you have to present your project to the public and ask for public input. And as part of that input, we have to respond to every comment. So once we get input at the meeting and we allow for, I forget how many weeks after the meeting for written input, we compile all that together, we look at it, and we have a response we send out to people for that.
And we could have a deviation from the initial plan based upon that theoretically.
Absolutely. That's why we do the meeting before the plans are finalized. That way we still have some flexibility to make minor changes here and there.
Excellent, thank you.
I'd just like to congratulate you for the first federal grant, and then going after the second one. If we get it, if we're successful, we'll only have about 21% local dollars in the whole 3.3 million, so that's fantastic.
I think it's a great thing for the city to, for every dollar the city would spend on the project, theoretically, they would pay 4. So it would be approximately 4 to 3, something like that, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you.
congratulations.
I think it's great that we're getting that. When are we planning to do that, assuming everything is approved?
Yeah, we would start buying the land in '24, and construction would begin in the spring of 2025.
Okay.
And the project's still a go project, no matter if this other step occurs or not, correct?
Exactly right.
Yeah, okay. All right, anyone else? Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve Resolution 23-36.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 23-36. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is Resolution 23-39.
Resolution 23-39, a resolution by Beavercreek City Council authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Beavercreek Development Corporation to market approximately 54.5 acres of land situated at Grange Hall Road and Shakertown Road, which property is under contract for purchase by the city for the purpose of promoting economic growth and development in the city.
You taking that one?
I'll take this one,
All
Mr.
right.
Mayor.
There you go.
This acreage, as you know, we purchased with another 15 acres, the 15 acres is already under contract earlier. But this is the roughly 55 acres that is part of the stormwater project that we're doing. It's on the opposite side of the road as the park, but this is the piece of land that will have significant improvement done to the land. Coming up this fall, we should have final design, hopefully go out for bid late this year, and final construction into construction plans and into full construction during 2024 for stormwater. So it's a big project. This is why the city decided to purchase this land, because it will be literally putting $1 million+ into this property using ARPA funds. And we'll be making this property, actually, it's been bypassed many, many times, but it gives the city control of the property on how it can be developed and what things the city desires to go there. So this is basically an agreement with the Beavercreek Development Corporation, which is a arm of the economic development arm of the city, which again which they brought forth passed a resolution recommending to City Council what conditions to put to get feedback, and we had a work session, as you recall, to get feedback from City Council on what the parameters of this site would be. So this agreement enters into an agreement with the Beavercreek Development Corporation, enabling them to market it and for knowing what conditions they can market it for. Any offers or sales of this property would, of course, have to come back to City Council for approval. So this is just more or less giving a guidelines to the Beavercreek Development Corporation to stay within. This is what we're looking to do with this piece of property. I'm not sure when the property will actually, I believe actually once the plans are actually done and become public record as far as that this is what we're going to do to improve this property, I believe we may be getting offers or interest a lot earlier than until after it's done. But we shall see. But again, this is just an agreement with the Beavercreek Development Corporation for the purposes of marketing and sales and knowing what the guidelines are from City Council to what guidelines to sell this property.
Yeah, and my apologies, Mayor and Council, but I might ask that we have a motion, and I will submit tomorrow just some correction, because we have purchased the property. And unfortunately, this was modeled after an earlier resolution where we had the 15 acres where we were in the process of purchasing, and so I want to remove that. So if I could have a motion to remove that, I will get to Debbie tomorrow to just to correct that for the record, because any reference where it says is under contract purchase, it is purchased. So that, I just want to make those correcting, it doesn't change the substance of the whole point of it is still valid and still the point, but I just want to, like the first whereas and the title, I want to change that around, just to correct that.
All right, so let's clean that up first. Everybody clear what the attorney's asking? So do I have a motion to remove the under contract portions as mentioned in the resolution?
Yeah, the purchase, yes. Thank you, Mayor.
Under contract for purchase.
Mayor, I move to amend Resolution 23-39 to remove any reference to the acquisition of the 54.5 acres located at Grange Hall, as
Second.
that property has already been acquired.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to amend
Thank you.
Resolution 23-39 to replace some verbiage in the resolution. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. All right, any discussion now on the resolution itself, the amended resolution? When we created the BDC, this is the first project they've really had to try to do something with.
Right.
And so this is something that we had to try to, we didn't want members of the BDC to go out and market it verbally in the wrong direction. And so this is what this is doing, to the best of my knowledge, is what we're doing, and to keep them in a narrow field of what we're interested in. So any questions? Do I have a motion?
Move to approve Resolution 23-39 as amended.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve Resolution 23-39 as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, liquor license. Good evening, Captain.
Evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. I have just a quick agenda item for this evening. The Ohio Department of Commerce Division of Liquor Control sent notification of a request regarding the transfer of a C1, C2, and D6 liquor permit from Rob's Beer Barn Incorporated to 4017 Beer Barn LLC. Both are located at 4017 Indian Ripple Road, Beavercreek, Ohio 45440. The record checks required by the Ohio Department of Commerce Division of Liquor Control were completed on the applicant's shareholders for this request, and staff is recommending this application request to move forward without comment.
Thank you.
Motion to accept without comment.
Second.
I have a motion on the table. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Council time. We're moving right along. How about Councilmember Adams? You want to give us a start?
I've done some things, but actually I don't have a report tonight.
What? Should I tell him what you've done? Councilmember Dewar.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the privilege this time to announce employee anniversaries.
Very good.
And so I would like to, Rachel, is there a slide? Yes. Braden Dobney, Police, 1 year of service. Steve Eisen of Public Service, 1 year. Justin Tolley of Police, 13 years. Joey Shope, Public Service, 2 years. Deb Barber of Police, 6 years. Kristen Lay of Police, 6 years. Jennifer Stevens of the Police, 19 years. Erin Harris of Parks, Recreation, and Culture, 8 years. Matt Barber of Police, 27 years. Mike Hummel of Police, 27 years. Diane Gould of Administration, 17 years. And when you look at the length of service and the quality of our staff, it really is outstanding. So please join me in congratulating all of those with anniversaries.
Very good. Thank you.
Left speechless by Councilmember Adams. I don't know what I should say, but two things. I want to thank the public for an amazing turnout on July the 4th. Really outstanding parade, fireworks, etc. Thank you to so many that volunteered and donated for that. One other item, I was able to give a speech in Fairborn for the Defense Planning and Analysis Society on what's happening in the country of Sudan, and there were a couple of Beavercreek residents who put my name forward as a speaker. So I want to thank them and for the opportunity to present to a local group that's nationally connected. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Bales.
Thank you, Mayor. First, congratulations to Monica Jones. Welcome to the city of Beavercreek. I look forward to getting to know you and working with you on some of your projects. And I hope you find this city as enjoyable as we all do. Secondly, thanks to the Parks Department, the Police Department, Public Service Department, and all of the volunteers for the amazing 4th of July activity, the parade, fireworks, entertainment. I had a blast and went through a lot of candy, right? And so it was a good time. This coming Thursday, I am planning to meet with State Auditor Faber to listen to his thoughts on levy campaigns. So that should be very interesting. Before our next regular meeting, the Beavercreek Rotary Club will be having their annual golf outing. So I would encourage anyone who is interested in that. It's July 21st at Beavercreek Golf Club. Information can be found at beavercreekrotary.com. I got news today from Jason Tinku, who is the Executive Director of Greene County Sanitary Engineering, that he is leaving his job effective this Friday. He's taken another job in Montgomery County, but I'd like to thank him for really leading that department. Our water and sewer system in Beavercreek and throughout the county has really come a long way under his leadership. And so thank you to Jason. And then finally, tomorrow, honored to attend Don Adams' mayoral campaign fundraising activities at Southern Ohio Brewing. So that's at 5:30, and anyone who wants to support Mr. Adams, that would be great. That's all I have.
All right.
Thank you.
Councilmember Curran.
Thank you, Your Honor. Had the honor to attend the Gene Fisher Memorial that was over at the Career Center, and it was just great to see the crowd and the recognition that Gene received as a fantastic sheriff, and his family was recognized. It was just tremendous. Also attended the Senior Citizens Gala, a full house and a waiting list, and the 5 was the music provider, and just a jammed house and wonderful food, and just congratulate the staff at Senior Citizens for doing such a great job. Also attended with the mayor the police training at the Beavercreek High School here a couple weeks back, and recognizing what challenges that they face and trying to keep themselves up to speed should we ever have an awful situation at the school where their services would be needed. Also, attended the concert at Lafino Park last night, and Pandora was the provider of music, and they were absolutely fantastic. Nice crowd, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful program. And of course, don't want to forget again, and congratulations to Monica for joining us, and all the best to all of our staff for has been mentioned here by our council members for the 4th of July. Did a fantastic job. Parks, police, everybody. And then lastly, don't forget the ice cream social, 23rd of July, Wardinger Park. That'll be the Beavercreek Historical Society. Kind of a fundraiser for them to try to get the bathroom and a little kitchenette established with the beautiful barn that they have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Schwartz.
Thank you, Mayor. I, too, just want to thank the public and thank the staff and all the volunteers for the 4th of July. It was such a great turnout. It was a little warm, but the fireworks show was fabulous. The band was fabulous. I have to say, I don't think that the food truck lines were quite as long as they normally are, because we had a few more this time around. And so it was a great event, had a great time. and Judson got to see his first fireworks show. He woke up about halfway through, so so that was good. I attended the Russ Nature Reserve ribbon cutting. As many of you know, Russ was hit with the tornadoes, the Memorial Day tornadoes, and they have done a lot of rehabilitation there, replanting of trees, and they have built a wonderful pavilion. And so if you have not been out there, I encourage you to go. It's a great park. It's Greene County Park, but it's here in Beavercreek, and so I encourage you to go out and explore. It's one that's right down the street from our house, so we frequent that one regularly. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor Garcia.
Yes, thank you. I also want to thank everyone who came out for the 4th of July parade. It was a really fantastic event. So Councilwoman Schwartz, thank you for serving on that committee, because I know that you've been on there for a couple years. It was definitely very hot, definitely went through a lot of candy, though not nearly as much as Councilmember Bales. I will plan accordingly next year. And I think usually there's a strip where there's not as many people, and there was no strip where there wasn't as many people this year. This was a really great turnout. There were tons of people along the parade route, tons of people at the end of the route. So thank you, everyone, for coming out. We are going to have our annual management strategy session that City Manager Landrum alluded to earlier, where I said I freeze every year, but it is a really great event. So I'm looking forward to that with everyone. That's where we'll hash out a lot of the details for the upcoming year, things we want to see in the budget, things that we want to look forward to as priorities. So next Saturday will be a very good weekend for council and a good time for us to do that. Otherwise, that's it for me. I think Councilmember Adams is just trying to get over to the Queen of Hearts at Beaverview, and that's why it's short tonight. And I think we only have another hour and a half. So Mayor, I'll turn it over to you.
So you want me to take an hour and a half?
No, thank you.
Okay. I just want to thank UES and all the other contributors for the 4th of July, for the fireworks. But staff did a wonderful job, as always. But we couldn't do it without our contributors. So thanks to them. The active shooter training at the high school.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, the more you practice, the better the more up to speed you are, and you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. So I say thank you to our police department for going through those processes, even though it's year after year you do it, but it is something you have to stay on top of. So thank you. The 4th of July crowds, I thought they were quite large. I think that for the very beginning, you know, where the announcements are made, it was probably the largest crowd in the park that I'd seen. So that was good. Everybody wants to get out. And again, I want to welcome Monica Jones and, welcome aboard again. And while you're going to join a wonderful staff. We have great people here that work here. And but at the same time, we try to have a little fun, don't we? Huh? So hopefully you'll have a little fun along the way, too. But welcome. And with that, I will say that Councilmember Adams has been several places that I've been over the last couple of weeks. It just seems like we ride the same, I was going to say ride the same bicycle, but only Charles rides a bicycle.
Seriously. There's a balance involved in that, Jim.
You're right, no. All right. And with that, I will say thanks to everybody, and I'll turn it over to City Manager.
All right, this was alluded to. We have several public hearings coming up, public involvement meetings in July. 2 of them are related to stormwater, but the Vineland Trail Project, that is Thursday, July 13th, so that's coming up this week, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. right here in council chambers. As mentioned earlier, Dayton Xenia Road Widening Project, that is Tuesday, July 18th. 4:30 to 6:30, and again, same location here. And the Willowcrest Road Project, which is Tuesday, July 25th, 5 to 7 p.m. right here in council chambers. And the Willowcrest is the one we just mentioned about the land across from the park there. So come and give your input here at City Hall. Engineering staff will be here to take your comments and answer any questions that you can have. Summer concert series is ongoing. We have July 16th, the children concert part. When You Wish Upon a Star begins at 5 to 6 p.m., and these are all on Sundays. So come out July 16th on Sunday and enjoy, I should say, fun and educational puppet show put on by National nationally recognized madcap puppets. And then stick around for 7 o'clock is the adult, the Hathaways, a 5-member pop and rock band. And the following Sunday in July, to end July, you have the Rick George, 7 to 8 p.m., classic country, folk, and Americana. Good time, and actually it's been very good attendance at these. A lot of people, yeah. Party on the Patio is another event. We have advertised, again, check out on our Facebook. We have another one July 28th at the end of the month. Deadwood Alley will rock the night away, enjoy food and drinks at the Beavercreek Golf Club alongside Fat and Rich, DYT, and I cannot say half of these, Kuna Grits Foods Trucks. Okay, so we got a couple food trucks coming. August 11th, and Test Your Music Knowledge with playing along with Music Bingo with Off the Record. And food and drinks from the Beavercreek Golf Club as well as the food trucks. There you got another couple different food trucks there. So the event is free and open to the public and a good time. I know this is early because we're about less than a month away. Now I guess we're only 3 weeks away. National Night Out. This is going to be a good event, August 1st, 6 to 8:30. Now this is a little different because we're having this at Rotary Park. So this is a combination. It gives us more space, okay? Our parking lots are filled here, and there's nothing really to see in the buildings. That's a different event when we have open houses style, but this is a National Night Out. So in cooperation with the Parks and Recreation and Culture, we're going to have the police department to host National Night Out, and this event will include first responder vehicles. So, of course, the kids love the vehicles, and demonstrations, food trucks, and inflatables. So it's going to have a little different twist to it, but should be fine. So children of all ages can enjoy, and the adults as well. And the biggest point is to interact with our law enforcement. Our police department will be there, as well as probably many of council members, myself. Come interact with us, speak to us, and it would be a good night. And the more we get to know each other. I mentioned this was mentioned the council management strategy session. I threw this up. So the work session that we normally have the third Monday of the month is usually our regular work session, that we have. And that's on July 17th. That will be canceled because we're having our annual council management strategy session will be Saturday, July 22nd, 2023, at the Lafino Plaza beginning, I know Mayor loves this, 8:30 a.m. It's a long day. It is presentations by various department heads, myself, and then of course at the end of the day we wrap up with some one-on-one conversations with council members and myself. So it's a good time. Again, this starts the 2024 process as alluded to with the tax budget, but this helps to give the priorities and directions as far as budgeting purposes. And policy as well. So, and with that, that's all I have tonight.
Well, thank you. At this stage of the agenda, this is the time when anyone present. Next on the agenda is citizen input. So if there's anyone here this evening that would like to address council on any subject whatsoever, you're welcome to come forward and do so. We ask that you limit your comments to 3 minutes or have time donated by up to 2 other people. Is there anyone that would like to come forward tonight? Please do. Come up and give us a name and address, please.
City Council, how are you doing? Mayor, Bob Trout. I live at 2187 Bassett Court here in Beavercreek. My question revolves about the new Springhouse Park. And across the street, you're having some property that's been bought and eventually sold. And I'd like to throw on the table that once you sell it, take that profit and turn it into what is needed to furnish and update that new park that we were talking about, rather than put a levy on. Because I will tell you that the people in the community are hit pretty hard for levies. So that is a concern. The other thing is for our engineer, I'm going to put it on the table because I'm old, I could die, I don't know. But The street widening project, I'm concerned about the width on a couple of them that's 11 feet. Some of them are 12 feet wide, but I'm curious because sometimes that is for emergency vehicles and fire trucks, and also sometimes they use large transport, tractor-trailer rigs that go down that thing. They say we can block it off, but that's been an alternate route when they've had accidents down there at Factory Road and everything, so that they had to reroute a lot of the traffic. But the other thing is moving trucks are pretty large also for people that are moving in and moving out of Beavercreek. And I have concern that a narrow road might make it a little bit more unsafe. So something to consider going forward. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for your input. Appreciate it.
You bet.
You might want to try to also make the public hearing on the road that's coming up here before long, too. Anyone else who would like to address council? You don't have to be shy. Uh-oh.
Never shy, anyway. I just wanted to go back to...
Name and address, please.
Oh, Phil Casara. I practically live here all the time, so I wanted to go back to Pete's question. It was a very good question about the millage. After I looked at it, it isn't the past millage. When David sent that over, he also sent an email saying that right now the legislature is determining how they're going to value properties now and in the future. And one of the things that they're debating about is whether or not sales from last year have a heavier weight than sales for properties over the last 3 years. And what I believe he did, even though he didn't mark it up that way, is he gave you those options just to show you what the effective millage rate would be. But I think he used that second column as part of his projections, so the little bit higher ones. Now, you know, your other comment was a very good observation why one went up when it should have gone down. I have no explanation for that one, but I think that's the better explanation of those two columns there, was he was just, and this is something very unusual, but remember, this is the primary or preliminary tax budget right now. So as the legislation gets through with their evaluation about how they're going to make the county auditors value the properties, that'll be the next one we'll get, which will, when we approve the rates and the revenue generated with that, that will all be settled by then, which usually is until like October, November. So, but I just wanted to correct that. Again, I assumed it was the previous, but again, you know what happens when you assume. But after looking at it, that's the reason. I just wanted to let everybody know that that was the correct answer to your question.
Thank you. And you did that in under 3 minutes. Anyone else like to address council this evening? Seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn, Your Honor.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much.